Oh, you freaking moron. You just got Lancered. Tag your friends to totally Lancer them.
What the is happening here? Hey, are you down to clown? Do you hunger for deals? Then have I got the for you. Spamton Sweepstakes, your one-stop shop for Sans is Nas confirmed, peepus into the horrors, and things with my face on them. Submit now to Identity Theft to win wild prize.
Dude, what are you doing?
Spamton Sweepstakes!
The sweepstakes are over. Spamton is dead, and Metaton won his incinerated corpse. We set you free. What are you still doing here? And now that it's over... I'm sorry, how long has the sweepstakes been over? 9 months? It took you 9 months to make this video? Well, regardless, I have the visceral need to talk about this. Because wowie wow, y'all, I am absolutely in love with the Spamton Sweepstakes. Just incredible event concept, nearly flawless execution. Toby Fox and the Fangamer team have us pinned down like a butterfly in a wrestling match while getting In the end, the Spamton Sweepstakes was able to raise just about $323,000 in 24 hours.
Mama, that's grammar.
The marketing was genius. Calculators want to kiss it. Aesthetics, teasers, lore drops, and audience engagement came together in an unholy storm to extract as much money from our pockets as possible for charity. And our reward for all this fundraising? A finale livestream that announced the winners. And boy, it sure was something! You think Spamton, you think early 2000s internet, you think glitches, you think cryptid, you think garbage, you think blatantly obvious conman, you think pathetic, greasy middle-aged manlet who is your poor little meow meow and the patron saint of divorce, for some reason. Well, maybe you don't, but these are all aesthetics the Deltarune fandom at large has assigned to Spamton, and the Fangamer team absolutely nailed it. In retrospect, they had a test run for this Spamton-based marketing earlier this year.
Spamton Specil Fun Pak!
Yes, a small bag of cheaply made products literally advertised as garbage and sold for $19.97. And it sold out. Almost immediately. The page had multicolored buttons and animated arrows, glitchy text, Spamton giving himself a self-deprecating yet still absurdly positive review, and pop-ups that take up a quarter of the screen. Truly, the spirit of Spamton is with that product page. And let me tell you, it is only more refined in the sweepstakes. We got that pure, distilled Spamton essence. You can almost smell it. Everything from these wildly corrupted display gifs to the heavily artifacted clip art to these live journal GeoCities style pages and analog horror finale, the aesthetics are on point. But, why exactly is all of this so appealing to the fandom? No, seriously, I'm out here looking up why people like glitches and pathetic men. I mean, I like them too, but why? The early 2000s internet aesthetic is easy. It's all about that nostalgia, baby! The sweepstakes was only eligible for those 18 years or older, and in the early 2000s, people in that age range, who are also in Deltarune's demographic, were older children and younger teens. The birthplace of nostalgia. Glitches and corruptions, aside from being visually interesting, appeal because it means something is fundamentally broken. You can glean some information about how something works by looking at how it breaks. By experiencing a media in an unintended way, you can claim some ownership over it, like a secret treasure. It worked for Missing No, and it works for Spamton. As for pathetic little men, that's a tougher question. But after a lot of thinking and reading one entire article, I think that the trope appeals because they are outcasts, and we see ourselves in them. There's also an appeal to seeing someone worse off than you know, schadenfreude. Spamton is our OC that we put through hell. Our dolls we ripped the heads off of. Pathetic little men provide reflection, catharsis, and at the same time engage our sympathies. And that is why I think people really just want to, shove Spamton into a pasta maker and watch him oozing like sting cheese. And don't get it mixed up, this was a game. There was a fun sparkly progress bar toward donation goals, and at different milestones, the last of which was 225k, different items in the sweepstakes would unlock. Personally, I didn't care if I won, and I don't think a lot of other people did either. The fun of it was to see what new, unhinged product this little gremlin had to offer us.
Quality products at special low price, or
Heart-shaped object.
Yeah. There were such great prizes as Spamton worm on a string, Spamton's old socks, championship belt with pogging Spamton, merch with Spamton's face pasted on it, Spamton's powdered remains, which is also a reference to a Sans is Steven universe theory, Peepus Super Bowl ring, Spamton polyamory cheese board. There were also some delightfully cute prizes of other characters, but mostly, it's all about Spamton, baby! Screw it! Spamton scented candles, Spamton wedding ring, Spamton body pillow. Toby saw the internet's unhealthy obsession for this little guy and weaponized it. For charity. And with every new prize came a description from Spamton himself. And with new dialogue comes new insight into the character and possibly the world of Deltarune.
But wait, there's more!
Click that little blue link
in
in
description.
Okay, usually I would avoid his advice to click anything since your computer would probably contract every virus known to mankind plus a few new ones. But this time he's right. Clicking on the blue text in the prize descriptions as well as the two flashy banners on the main page will take you to secret web pages. That's right, big shots, it's also an ARG! Well, not exactly. By clicking this banner here, you can access a blog post from Noel, which explicitly states that this is not an ARG. There's no puzzle to solve. It also said how many hidden pages there were at any given time, and updated throughout the event for a final total of 26 pages, one for each Spamton in the alphabet. There's 26 letters in the alphabet, right guys? Y'all, this was such a smart move. It says to the fandom, hey, there are secrets to find, but don't run yourself ragged trying to find an unknown amount of them. A lot of ARGs or other secret hunting media are too obtuse for the average bear. They're super cool, don't get me wrong, and it's immensely satisfying when the community finally breaks the code, but it takes a community, and it takes a long time. Everyone I talked to was able to find nearly all the Spamton Sweepstakes secrets on their own. And for anyone that needed a little help, everything was thoroughly archived by the fandom. For this video, I personally used Undertale Anniversary Event 2022 Comprehensive Archive and Spamton Sweepstakes Archival Project by Snowpuff Central. Special thanks to those guys. You get that sense of community while still being able to feel clever about uncovering secrets on your own. And unlike some secret hunts, looking at you Doki Doki Literature Club with your CHR files, the Spamton Sweepstakes does not require any advanced ARG techniques. And trust me, I tried. Messed around with the lighting and contrast of a bunch of these black and white pages, nothing. Tried putting this jump scare noise into a spectrogram, and if you squint, maybe the eyes that accompany it are in there? If you squint, maybe? But even if it is, that's not lore. I considered that Susie blinking or this glitch texture might be a code in binary, but had neither the patience nor the skill to figure that out. Most of the secrets were accessible by clicking or highlighting stuff. The most complicated thing that came up was opening media in another tab and adding a 2 to the URL. And even that turned out to just be a graphic for this page that hadn't been revealed yet when Skymantles on Tumblr discovered it. Boy, did I feel like a frickin' genius, though, when I was like, I see some text there. Let me just highlight that and get a better look. Yeah, I'll highlight the rest of the page too, just in... Oh! You want that sweet, sweet secret dopamine hit, though? You gotta give more to charity. And there's only 24 hours or those prizes and secret pages will be lost to darkness. And so the people opened their hearts and their wallets, and with plenty of time to spare, the final prize, which had suddenly appeared a short time earlier, was unlocked. Spamton's fate. That was concerning. Now you'd think that was it. The last prize was unlocked, there's no more secret pages, there's no longer that... shoot. What is the word that I'm looking for? Incentive. People would donate just out of the goodness of their heart, but I wouldn't expect that alone to generate nearly $100,000 more with only a few hours left to go. Deciding Spamton's fate might, though. The Spamton's fate description was some cryptic text of an unknown author, though I have seen some speculation that it's the Addisons, telling us we can buy his silence once and for all, but then reconsiders, saying maybe we should let Spamton live his lucky life. At this point, the progress bar changes to a... I don't know what you would call this kind of bar.
Hot singles in your area?
Forgot you were there, my guy. No, not that kind of bar. There was freedom on one side and silence on the other. I guess it'd be more of a poll.
Hot singles in your area?
Hush, you. You would vote for the freedom or silence ending by donating toward it. And whichever had more money at the end of the sweepstakes won. It invokes competition. It plays into a staple of Toby Fox games. It's unexpected, and it gives the audience a sense of agency. It's an absolutely brilliant final push. I'm pretty sure Fangamer even donated 15 grand towards silence, knowing a majority of people would want the freedom ending and so have to at least match that number to prevent the silencing of Spamton. Oh, and also, if you donated, you got to write a message that would appear on a pop-up that took up like a quarter of the screen. So you had the opportunity to be funny in front of the fandom. Personally, I wrote a message about my message going away really quickly, and I named myself... And one of the prizes was a Q&A with Spamton on Twitter. So people felt included and got more lore from that. Look at him, kicking him little feet. I'd give him my social security card. In the end, freedom beat out silence by $30,000.
The sweet taste of freedom!
The only problem with having multiple endings in a real-life event is that we may never know what the silence ending entailed. Unless one of you guys wants to load up your save file and let me know if we could find out and get back to me on that. I'd appreciate it. And what was the freedom ending, you may find yourself asking? Great question. Ooh boy! The finale was a lot. I recommend you just watch it for yourself. Though I will warn you for unreality as well as cult themes, VHS static, and eye strain effects, and pretty gross mouth noises. Basically, if you have problems with analog horror or possibly misophonia, you're gonna want to be careful with this one. And therein lies my only criticism about how this event was handled. Everyone is expecting these dudes from Fangamer to sit and talk about charity, but instead we got this Eric Andre Local 58 Home Shopping Network creepypasta. And while I was absolutely living for it, I'm sure other people were distressed. Even Hatsune Miku was baffled. I'm not sure how I would have done it better. The surprise was sort of part of the point. Maybe put content warnings under a read more so people who wanted to know what kind of content the stream entailed could look, but it wasn't spoiled for people who didn't. I won't get into the specifics of the stream here, although if there's interest, I suppose I could take a crack at processing what we all saw for everyone in another video. But it was unhinged, and funny, and scary, and the perfect genre for Spamton I didn't know we needed. Overall, this event was a huge success. Whether you personally liked it or not, you can't argue with the astronomical amount of money this little Cangadero salesman gleaned from the pockets of the fandom in such a short amount of time. For charity. And I think Spamton was the perfect vehicle for this event. Something tells me if this were the Rousey Sweepstakes or the Susie Sweepstakes, it wouldn't have whipped the fandom up in quite the same way. Spamton has something they don't. Spamton is nearly incomprehensible, but just comprehensible enough that we can piece together what he is trying to say, who he is, and what happened to him. And that is a big part of what makes this event so compelling. It's the same reason we're so fascinated with Chris and Chara and Gaster or anything with quote-unquote lore. Mysteries with just enough hints at an answer to get everyone's brain working on overdrive to fill in the blanks and connect the dots. And we were willing to pay $225,000 for additional pieces to the puzzle. And enough people had an emotional enough reaction to Spamton G. Spamton to spend an additional $100,000 to either set him free or silence him for good. Content for Spamton lovers or haters alike, indeed. Leave a like if you enjoyed or think I said the word Spamton too much. Subscribe and leave a comment because I'd love to continue the discussion in the comment section and hear what you think about this. And hey, if there's anything else you'd like me to sit and think about for a while, let me know. I might make a video about that too. And as always, have an awesome day. Ta-ta!
Like and subscribe for infinite Cromer.